It's funny, isn't it? We humans, we've always been fascinated by the idea of life beyond Earth.
It's like this deep-seated curiosity, right? Like, are we really alone in this vast universe?
Exactly. And what's really cool is that the latest science is giving us some pretty good reasons to think, well, maybe we're not.
Oh, yeah, we're not just talking about theories anymore. There's some hard data out there about planets light years away.
So today, we're diving deep into all of that. The search for extraterrestrial life. And of course, we can't forget about those mysterious UFOs, or UAPs as they're calling them now.
Absolutely. And what's really exciting is that we're finally moving beyond just speculation. We're actually getting some real insights.
Okay, so let's start with that then. I was just reading about K218b, this super Earth,
Yeah.
and scientists think it might actually have signs of life.
Yeah, K218b is what we call a Haitian world. Basically a planet that's bigger than Earth but smaller than Neptune, with the potential for, like, massive oceans.
Okay, so like a water world. And we can actually tell that from here.
Well, get this. The James Webb Space Telescope, right? It's been able to detect carbon-bearing molecules in its atmosphere, including some that, well, at least on Earth, are only produced by living things.
Wait, so we can actually tell what's in the atmosphere of a planet that's light years away? That's incredible.
It is pretty amazing, right? It analyzes the light passing through the planet's atmosphere, and from that, it can identify the molecules that are present.
Okay, so it's like taking a fingerprint from across the galaxy.
Exactly. And in the case of K218b, those fingerprints, well, they're hinting at life.
So K218b is a pretty strong contender then. Any other promising exoplanets out there that we should be keeping an eye on?
Oh, absolutely. TRAPPIST-1a is another really exciting one. It's Earth-sized, and it orbits in what's called the habitable zone of its star, meaning liquid water could exist on the surface.
Okay, so another potential water world. Is it as promising as K218b?
Well, there are some concerns about its magnetic field. You see, the magnetic field could impact its ability to hold on to an atmosphere and protect any life from harmful radiation.
That makes sense.
But even with those concerns, TRAPPIST-1a shows us just how diverse these exoplanets can be.
So we've got these hints of life on distant planets, but
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, what about life here on Earth? Is there more to discover? Like maybe even life as we don't know it?
That's a great question. And that's where the whole concept of the shadow biosphere comes in. Imagine, like, microscopic life forms right here on Earth. But they don't use DNA, RNA, or even rely on carbon, the way familiar life does.
Hold on, life that doesn't use DNA. That's like a completely different rule book for life.
Exactly. It really challenges our whole definition of what life is and where we might find it.
Wow. So if a shadow biosphere exists on Earth, then, think about the possibilities on other planets with completely different chemistry altogether.
It's a real game changer in the search for extraterrestrial life.
So expanding our definition of life, looking for the unexpected. But let's be honest, what really captures the imagination is, well, the idea of intelligent alien civilizations out there, especially with all the buzz around UAPs lately.
Yeah, that's definitely the part that gets people talking. And it's important to remember the shift from UFOs, unidentified flying objects, to UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena.
So it's more about acknowledging that we just don't know what these objects are.
Exactly. It's a more scientific approach, right? We're not jumping to conclusions, but we're also not ruling anything out.
Especially because some of these UAP encounters,
Right.
Particularly those reported by Navy pilots, are pretty hard to explain away as, like, misidentified planes or weather balloons or anything like that.
Right. We're talking about, like, objects doing maneuvers that, they defy our understanding of physics, speed and agility beyond anything we can achieve.
And these are reports from highly trained observers, backed up by radar data, all that stuff. So it's serious business.
Absolutely. So, what could explain these seemingly impossible UAPs? Well, is it really that crazy to consider they might be extraterrestrial?
I don't think so.
Given what we know about the universe and the potential for life, it's certainly a possibility. Imagine civilizations thousands or even millions of years ahead of us technologically.
Yeah, their capabilities would be mind-blowing.
For sure.
But even with advanced technology, wouldn't the distances involved in interstellar travel be a major obstacle?
It's a big question, for sure. Distances are vast. But if a civilization could harness the energy of their entire star.
Like a Type 2 civilization.
Exactly. Interstellar travel might become much more feasible. And remember, we're talking about civilizations potentially millions of years ahead of us.
So they could have figured out ways to overcome these challenges that we can't even imagine yet. But why? Why come here? What would be the motive?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? But exploration is a big one. The drive to understand the universe and the life within it, well, it seems to be a fundamental part of intelligent life.
Yeah, like our own drive to explore, learn, discover. But what about the idea that we're being observed, maybe even protected by these advanced civilizations?
Ah, the zoo hypothesis.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, are we in some kind of cosmic nature preserve being watched over by galactic park rangers? But then there's also those theories about aliens living secretly among us, right?
hmm
The crypto-terrestrial hypothesis. I mean, is that seriously something people are considering?
Well, some researchers are, and it's not as far-fetched as it might seem at first glance. Think about it. Advanced civilizations coexisting with us, but hidden from view. Maybe for their own protection, or to avoid interfering with our development.
So we're talking about, like, advanced beings, maybe even human-like, living in these underground cities, underwater bases, using technology we can't even comprehend.
Precisely. And if they had the technology to, let's say, manipulate space and time, or even our perception, we might not even know they were there. Some theories suggest they might even use volcanoes as gateways.
Volcanoes as portals. Okay, now that's getting into some seriously wild territory.
It does sound like science fiction, I'll grant you that. But remember, what seems impossible today could be common knowledge tomorrow. Our understanding of the universe is constantly evolving.
So we've got aliens maybe visiting Earth, maybe living among us, using volcanoes as portals. I mean, it's mind-blowing stuff. But it all goes back to that one question. If intelligent life is out there, why haven't we made contact? Now,
Yeah.
why this cosmic silence? I mean, isn't that the Fermi Paradox?
Exactly. It's the big question, right? The ultimate puzzle in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. This vast universe teeming with possibilities, yet no definitive proof of another intelligent civilization.
Yeah.
It's a real head-scratcher.
It is. And, one of the most intriguing explanations I've come across is this idea of the Great Filter. Can you break that down for us?
Sure. The Great Filter, it basically says there's a critical step in the evolution of life that's just incredibly difficult, maybe even impossible for most civilizations to pass. It could be, well, the emergence of life itself, the development of intelligence, or even, the ability to achieve interstellar travel.
So it's like this cosmic roadblock that most civilizations, they just crash into. And the big question is, did we already pass it? Or is it looming ahead of us?
That's the unsettling part, right? If we've already passed it, it means we're incredibly rare, maybe even unique in our galaxy. But if it's ahead of us, well, it raises some serious concerns about our future.
Especially with all the self-inflicted challenges we're facing right now. Climate change, the threat of nuclear war, AI. I mean, could those be part of the Great Filter?
It's a sobering thought. Maybe intelligent life has this inherent flaw, a tendency towards self-destruction that prevents it from reaching a certain level of advancement.
Okay, that's a pretty bleak outlook.
Yeah.
Any more optimistic explanations out there for why we haven't made contact?
Well, you've got the zoo hypothesis, which we touched on earlier, the idea that, advanced civilizations are deliberately avoiding contact to allow humanity to develop naturally.
Yeah, like they're observing us from a distance, maybe even protecting us. The cosmic park rangers.
Exactly. Maybe they think it's wrong to interfere, Let us evolve on our own path, a kind of galactic ethics code.
Okay, that makes sense. But wouldn't they leave some kind of sign, a message, a beacon to let us know they're out there?
Not necessarily. Remember the dark forest hypothesis? It suggests the universe could be a dangerous place. Civilizations afraid to reveal themselves for fear of being discovered and attacked.
Right, so it's like this cosmic game of hide and seek. Everyone's staying silent to avoid being detected by some potentially hostile force out there. Pretty chilling thought. But are there any explanations for the Fermi Paradox that actually involve active efforts to make contact?
Sure. While some might be hiding, others might be reaching out. You've got scientists involved in SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, actively listening for signals from other civilizations.
So we're not just passively listening, we're actively searching. That's encouraging. But what about sending out our own messages? Is anyone doing that?
Yeah, there's a debate within the SETI community about that. MIDI, it's called. Messaging Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Some believe we should be shouting our presence from the rooftops, so to speak. Others warn of the potential risks, of attracting unwanted attention.
It's a gamble, right? What if we're sending out invites to a cosmic party and the guests turn out to be less than friendly?
That's a valid concern, for sure. Be careful what you wish for, right? But But on the flip side, what if reaching out is the only way to break the silence, to finally make that connection? It's a dilemma with no easy answers.
It is. But regardless of the risks, the fact that we're searching, considering sending messages, it's pretty amazing. Shows we haven't given up on finding other intelligent life.
Absolutely. And while we haven't detected any definitive signals yet, there have been some interesting anomalies, things that make us pause, make us wonder.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Well, there's the famous wow signal. This powerful radio burst detected back in 1977, and while a recent study suggests a potential natural source, it remains one of the most compelling SETI candidates.
A signal strong enough to make someone write, wow, next to it. Yeah, that definitely gets your attention. Any other unusual signals or patterns that stand out?
There are these strange fluctuations in starlight. Some scientists think they could be caused by megastructures built by advanced civilizations. Imagine, like a Dyson sphere, this gigantic structure built around a star to harness its energy.
Wow, that's next level engineering.
Oh,
But
yeah.
wouldn't a structure that massive be easy to spot?
You'd think so, right? But it depends on the design, the materials used. It could be designed to be stealthy, absorbing or reflecting light in ways that make it difficult to detect.
So it's a cosmic game of hide and seek, even when we're searching for technosignatures. This whole search for extraterrestrial intelligence, it's full of tantalizing possibilities, but also a lot of unknowns. Exciting and frustrating at the same time.
That's the beauty of it, right? A journey of discovery. We're constantly pushing the boundaries of our knowledge, our technology, and even if we never find definitive proof, the search itself is incredibly valuable.
Totally agree. It forces us to think bigger, question our assumptions, appreciate our place in this vast and mysterious universe. But what if we're looking for the wrong things? Maybe our definition of intelligence is too narrow, too focused on what we know here on Earth.
That's a great point. We tend to define intelligence based on our own limited experience. But there could be countless other forms of intelligence out there that we haven't even conceived of.
Like what? Can you give us some examples?
Imagine a civilization that communicates through, like, complex patterns of light, or a species that perceives time in a completely different way, or beings that exist on a plane of existence that we can barely grasp.
Okay, now you're blowing my mind. So we need to broaden our search, look for the unexpected, be open to forms of intelligence that challenge our current understanding.
Exactly. We might be looking for radio signals while they're communicating through, I don't know, gravitational waves, or some other phenomenon we haven't even discovered yet. Possibilities are endless.
So the key is to keep searching, keep exploring, be open to the unexpected. But let's say we do make contact with an advanced civilization. How do we even begin to measure their level of advancement? I remember reading about the Kardashev Scale. It categorizes civilizations based on their energy usage. Can you tell us more about that? The Kardashev Scale, it's like a way to put these civilizations into perspective.
Right. Like, are we talking about a species that can barely keep their lights on, or one that can, harness the energy of a whole galaxy? It's a framework for imagining the possibilities, the different levels of advancement out there.
And we humans, we're still just trying to master type I, right?
Yeah, type I is where a civilization can use all the energy available on its home planet.
So are we even close?
Not quite there yet, but we're making progress. Think about it. Solar, wind, geothermal, we're even starting to tap into the power of the tides. A true type I civilization would have all that mastered and then some.
Okay, so imagine a future where we control the weather, we can use geothermal energy on a massive scale, fully utilize our oceans. That's a type 1. But type 2, that's where things get really wild, right?
Definitely. Now we're talking about harnessing the energy of an entire star. We're talking Dyson spheres, these hypothetical megastructures that surround a star and capture all that energy.
Dyson spheres. Talk about thinking big. But how could we even begin to understand a civilization that powerful?
Right. It's mind-boggling. But that's what makes the Kardashev Scale so fascinating, It pushes us to think beyond our current limitations, to imagine what's truly possible. And if type 2 blows your mind, wait till you hear about type 3.
Okay, you can hit me with it. What does a type 3 civilization even look like?
Galactic scale energy. That's Tech 3. A civilization that has spread across its galaxy, harnessing the power of multiple stars, maybe even black holes. Think interstellar travel, manipulating matter and energy on a scale that would seem like magic to us.
Wow. A type 3 civilization would be almost godlike. It makes you wonder, If they're out there, why haven't we encountered them?
The Fermi Paradox route. Maybe they're deliberately hiding, maybe we're just not looking in the right way, or maybe there's something that prevents civilizations from reaching that level.
The great filter again. Fascinating and unsettling to think there might be a cosmic ceiling on how far a civilization can advance. But you mentioned even higher levels on the Kardashev scale. What could possibly be beyond controlling an entire galaxy? Well, now we're getting into some serious speculation, but it is fun to think about. A Type 5V civilization. They could theoretically harness the energy of an entire universe.
In an entire universe. Okay, now we're talking about beings beyond our comprehension. What kind of technology could even do that?
It's beyond anything we can imagine. Maybe they can manipulate space-time, create new universes, or even exist outside of our understanding of time and space.
Okay, my brain is officially overloaded, but it is amazing to consider the possibilities. And there are even Type V and Type C civilizations. Yeah, Type V would be multiversal, traveling between universes, maybe even manipulating the laws of physics in different universes.
Yeah.
And then Type 6, that's the hypothetical omniversal civilization, exists outside of the multiverse, maybe even responsible for its creation. We're definitely venturing into the realm of philosophy and metaphysics at this point.
It's mind-blowing stuff. But, I love how exploring extraterrestrial life, it forces us to think bigger. Expand our horizons of what's possible. It's a reminder that we're part of something so much larger than ourselves.
I couldn't agree more. And even if we never make contact with another intelligent civilization, just the act of searching, of questioning, of exploring those possibilities, it has a profound impact on us.
It's a journey of discovery. Who knows what we'll find along the way? Maybe the answers are closer than we think, or hidden in plain sight. Maybe we just need to learn to look at the universe a little differently.
Exactly. And maybe, just maybe, the greatest discovery we'll make in this search is a deeper understanding of ourselves, our place in the cosmos, and what it truly means to be intelligent life.
So, to everyone listening, keep looking up at those stars, keep asking those questions, and never lose your sense of wonder. The universe is full of mysteries. And who knows, maybe one day we'll finally break the cosmic silence and connect with another intelligence out there. Until then, the search continues.